join me in the fully plastered bedroom with all the plaster now removed from here. The phone having some actual charge in it, so hopefully we can actually get some more time-lapse footage. And we're ready to get going on some jobs. So we're kind of at the point where this just needs some time to dry out inside of here. Elizabeth has been delegated the jobs of cleaning up the mess I made inside of here, so we can get that all sorted out and it'll get us nice and clean, ready to start doing some sanding and painting and everything else inside of this room, which will be good. I am quite sore today after doing that roof yesterday, so I was tempted to have a go at plastering this. I may still do that later, haven't quite decided on it yet, but the job I actually want to start on today, he says headbutting spotlights, is removing the remainder of this coving down here and then having a look at where we're going to recut this hole and replasterboard this strip to fit the new loft hatching. So we're going to hop on up the ladder, which I have positioned there in a safe and secure manner. The safety spectacles will protect me from any damage. We're going to get up, remove the rest of that coving, and then we'll do some measuring, open up the loft hatch, do some measuring and see what we need to do inside of there. Now we do need to build a bit of a frame in there, so that remaining piece of CLS is going to get absolutely consumed doing that. But once we've done that in, then at least we know where the hole is then going to be. We can repatch up the old hole, and I'm hoping we can fix this section with it at the same time, so we can chop out a bit of a square there at the same time. And then, unfortunately the temporary wooden boarding will have to go back into place because I won't be able to do that until we've actually properly plastered the ceiling, which is partly why I'm now removing the coving around here, so at least if I need to, I can run on quickly, get that plastered on the roof. The spotlights can then potentially go back into the roof then, which would be nice because it'll be the first spotlights actually in the roof and out the way. And then we can get the loft hatch properly in and installed. So I'm making that thing where I'm doing a load of planning and saying these are all the things we're going to do. That's the plan of action in the long term, but the short term one is let's get the remainder of this coving off, so it's time to do some more demolition. Yes, our lovely dust-free hall now has additional dust, but we have managed to get that coving off. I've also gone round and removed all the lumps and bumps of like plaster that was sticking on these bits, just so if we do go to plaster at any point, a lot of the prep work's already kind of been done. Now you may also be noticing that half the wall is now missing. As with the same downstairs, where the coving was stuck onto the brickwork, it just portued lumps of plaster off. It was especially bad up here to the point that I just carved out all of the remaining junk there, so we're just going to have to fill that in before we can do any more work on it. But yeah, that is all down. We're going to have to clean up this mess, but I think before I do that, I want to try and chop out this loft hatch hole here so we don't end up with the mess. So let's go ahead and open up the loft hatch box, have a look at the facing. I'm going to go cut downstairs because I'm on dinner duty tonight as well. I've got steak. I want to give the oven a good, or the proper wok fryer a good burn, see if we can get some good temperature into it to see if it passes the Ryan steak test. So we'll take a quick pause to go do that at some point as well. And then I'm hoping it's by a little bit later on we'll have the new hole for the loft hatch cut and the remaining piece of plasterboard back in there, so at least the messy bit's done. And then theoretically, actually, with the exception of filling the holes around there and then doing the taping around the top edge, there's nothing stopping me actually plastering this ceiling. In my favourite game of plastering ceilings, but it'll be a nice one to get done because then the hallway will look somewhat complete. So I'm going to contemplate on that one while we're doing the loft hatch. Time for the unboxing of one of the most taped boxes this world has ever seen, which contains our new loft hatch. So I think it's going to take me a few minutes to cut through the tape, so I'll rejoin you once I've actually got the box open. One opened loft hatch. We have fixings and a locking key type body. Honestly, I always say I was expecting it to look like this because obviously the old one I took out was wooden. Most of the loft hatches I have seen have been like long-term inside the house, so this is like the first time I've seen like a new unboxed one. And I believe this has got a metal frame to it. Now, I can't remember what I mentioned previously, but when I actually purchased this one, there was actually 3 different thicknesses of insulation, or 2 different types of insulation you can get, depending on which one is obviously the best for providing the most insulation. This is the top spec one, so it's got 150 mil of what I think is called like PID insulation or something like that, so it had the best thermal rating as well. The loft hatch itself as well is actually supposed to be airtight sealed, so if you can just see around here, there's actually like a strip of like foam around that edge, so it pushes up to the ceiling and locks everything nicely in place. So yeah, that looks pretty clean, looks pretty nice. I don't remember buying the one with the locking mechanism on though. I think I was just supposed to have a stud thing on it, so I'm going to go double check that order and see if I've been sent a better one than I originally paid for. But that is the loft hatch. Now the reason I've unboxed it is because what I wanted to do is have a look at how thick this lip is, because obviously that lip's going to determine how far I can get it up against that wall without clashing into the coving and allowing a little bit of space so that it doesn't look ridiculous. So we'll get some measurements done, we'll make some marks up on the roof, and then yeah, we should be in a position where we can get this installed. Well, not installed, but at least cut a new hole for it and get it boarded up there, because we won't be able to install this until we built the boxing in the loft where this is going to screw into on both sides. And we've also plastered the roof, because what the last thing we want to do is get plaster all over this thing. But yeah, very nice, quite pleased with it. Oh, it was so nice having that big burner. The steak was really good. Nice to get the heat in the pan, get it seared nicely. Turned out absolutely spot on, so I am a happy boy with that burner, so very, very pleased. Normally what I do is like put it in some butter and have a little bit of rosemary and stuff on it as well, but I just wanted to make sure the heat was getting into it first, and yeah, it passed the test, so very happy with it. While that was going on as well, I have gone and started marking up where this loft hatch section is going to go. So the coving that we're probably going to put back in here is going to be about 800, 900 mil wide. So what I've done is I've made that 140 mil there, because there is a 25 mil lip around the edge of that, so it gives about 2.5 centimeters ish between where the edge of the lip's going to be and where the edge of the coving is going to be, so it gives us plenty of room. So that roughly marks up where it is there. This line here then becomes the edge of where the access hatch hole is going to be, so that sort of gives us an idea of how far out into the room it's going to come. Couple other things that we have noted while doing this though is, one, I didn't realise, but this piece of plasterboard here is broken and the edge of the board is actually under that wall there, so what we may potentially actually want to do is cut that whole piece out and potentially refix it up there just to make sure that that is secure. The other thing of note is that reading the instructions to this, you need to have enough clearance around the insulation, because there's quite a thick layer of insulation for this loft ladder to be able to come into. Now, the way they say about doing that is making sure that the platform is mounted high enough up in the loft so that it gives enough of like an angle like that when the ladder's coming down to not hit that. So that's something we are going to have to consider when we go and put the loft ladder in. Now, I was planning on cutting that, but after doing the cooking and everything else like that, it is now getting on towards 9 o'clock at night. It's getting a little bit late. Elizabeth wants to have a bath, because we're actually going to some candlelight carol service with our parents tomorrow, and she wants to get herself ship-shape and ready to go to that one. So what I suppose I'm going to do in the meantime is at least clear up the worst of Dust Alley down here, just so that we're not swanning around it and treading so much mess around the house. So time-lapse mode Ryan and cleaning mode Ryan. again, Editing Brian here to outro the vlog in a very smoky house because Elizabeth is experimenting while cooking some pork chops, and yeah, we may have a minor smoke-related pan going on, but I'm sure it'll taste fine. It's whatever. Anyway, I did way too much cleaning towards the end of that vlog and didn't get on with the loft hatch, so that was done at a future date. But at least we got rid of all the dust that was there. Now, at the point of posting this, we are at 94 subscribers. There is only 6 to go towards 100. So if you are still here watching this vlog at this time, then you probably enjoyed it. In which case, please could you consider hitting the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Anyway, the next few days, for you guys, there will probably still be vlogs posting, but there's going to be quite a big jump in time going forward now, because it is going right up to the Christmas break, and most of the time for us over Christmas was spent, and the New Year's period was spent going out, seeing family, and spending time with friends, that kind of stuff. So progress on the house is going to slow down, but for you guys probably won't, because I'll probably just keep posting and we'll just condense some of the vlogs and we'll catch back up a little bit of time. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy hunting, and we will catch you all in tomorrow's vlog.